Have you ever heard of the term nigga wake up call?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
And in that call, they explained that they actually told CBS that they could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert show to go on.
It was so obvious from the get-go what was happening here, which was that Colbert and Tallarico concocted a scheme to try to drive views and clicks and donations and apparently votes by claiming falsely that the government had somehow censored their program. And what happened was the truth came out. Nobody, not even CBS, prohibited Colbert from running the interview that he wanted. They simply said, hey, if you're going to do this, there's ways you can do this that complies with equal time requirements, and we encourage you apparently to do that. But instead of doing that, they did that sort of meme where you take the stick and poke it through your own front wheel of your bicycle and fall down and then claim that you're the victim for views. So it was pretty interesting to watch the arc of this story between mainstream fake news reporters falling for this.
Well. It seems to me like Jasmine Crockett has received her N-word wake-up call because the left is abandoning her. Okay, they pulled a Uno reverse, all of that talking and snapping your neck and, snapping your fingers, whatever nonsense that she's doing, all the long nails and fake lashes. It is not enough to win an election of this importance. So for those of you guys who don't know, James Tallarico, white man, is running for Senate against Jasmine Crockett, black woman, in the Democrat primary. Of course, they got to win their primary. Whoever wins that goes on to face a Republican who's going to kick their ass in Texas, like always. But, whatever, the two of them have to run against one another first. And since he's a safe white man and the Democrat Party is extremely racist against black women, they are throwing Crockett under the bus here. Now, Colbert had an interview with Tallarico, only aired on YouTube. It didn't air actually on television. And he and Tallarico concocted this scheme to try to falsely claim that the FCC was responsible.
Okay, anyway, I decided to take Brendan Carr's advice. I am going to interview James Tallarico tonight, but it's not going to be on The Late Show. It's going to be on The Late Show's YouTube page. People are watching this right now. It's because they found us online on YouTube. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Tallarico.
Trying to control what we watch, what we say, what we read. And this is the most dangerous kind of cancel culture. They went after The View because I went on there. They went after Jimmy Kimmel for telling a joke they didn't like. They went after you for telling the truth about Paramount's bribe to Donald Trump.
Now, Jasmine Crockett has come out publicly. At first, I was like, why would she say something that is basically defending the Trump administration, effectively saying that, hey, they're not doing anything. This was just Tallarico and Colbert doing it. She's come out and publicly stated this.
I have done Colbert a number of times. If you paid attention, I've done Colbert a number of times. I've done The View a number of times. I've done Kimmel a number of times. I've done all these shows a number of times. We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment, number one. That is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It is our understanding that Colbert, either Mr. Colbert or CBS, decided to make this statement on Paramount, and this was because of a fear that the FCC may say something to them, and that there may have been advice to just have me on, and then they could clear the issue. It was my understanding that someone somewhere decided we just don't want to do that, and instead we're going to just do it this way. So I don't believe.
It's an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism.
Regardless of her personal feelings on the matter and what the reality of the situation is, she's learning what it's like to be a conservative because the facts don't matter. Fake news MS now. Jen Psaki is out here perpetuating this narrative, even in Crockett's face.
They name-checked you. I mean, they said this: the show was provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for 2 other candidates, including Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. What do you make of that explanation?
We actually received a phone call, and that was a little bit earlier today. And in that call, they explained that they actually told CBS that they could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert show to go on. As you know, I've been on Colbert multiple times. And frankly, if we would have gotten an offer, that would have been great, but we're in the middle of early voting, so I'm kind of focused on being in Texas at this moment. I don't know what to believe, that's for sure, but I got that phone call as I was out talking to voters.
That's it. So there's so many things to talk to you about again, but they called you today, but they decided not to air the interview last night. You've been on Colbert a number of times, as you just said. CBS released a statement today saying, quote, "The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Rep. James Tallarico. CBS made the decision to bow to Trump's FCC and basically blocked Stephen Colbert from airing his interview with a Texas Democratic candidate." CBS pulled his interview on Stephen Colbert's show just before it was supposed to air. The reason that CBS pulled Colbert's interview with James Tallarico was because of a new kind of made-up rule by Donald Trump's FCC chair, Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr's new rule would be designed to intimidate talk shows and late-night comedy shows out of featuring political guests.
They could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert show to go on.
An incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism.
Imagine you're out here trying to clear it up, but no, Jen Psaki doesn't care. She wants Tallarico to win, and apparently this stunt was an amazing and incredible stunt that they're obviously probably going to get away with because she appears to be getting her ass kicked in the polls, and apparently Tallarico has gained an extra $2.5 million in funding after this stunt.
What about the prediction market? What do we see? Chance to be the Texas Democratic Senate nominee. Look at this. On Sunday, Tallarico was the favorite, but it was pretty close, a 61% chance. But look at that. It turns out this attention was very good for Tallarico. The prediction market, Kalshi prediction market, having his chance go all the way up to 3 and 4 at this point, a 75% chance of winning that nomination. So,
and not only that, Colbert is out here publicly attacking his own network pretty much every day because he's pissed off at the fact that he's getting fired and that he's being exposed by them and everyone else on a regular basis.
CBS generously did it for him and told me unilaterally that I had to abide by the equal time rules, something I have never been asked to do for an interview in the 21 years of this job. Now, that decision, I want to be clear, is their right. Just like I have the right to talk about their decision on air. Without ever talking to me, the corporation put out this press release, this statement. In it, they say The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Representative James Tallarico. The show was provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for 2 other candidates, including Representative Jasmine Crockett, and presented options for how the equal time for other candidates could be fulfilled. Now, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't want to tell them how to do their jobs. But since they seem intent on telling me how to do mine, here we go. I really don't want an adversarial relationship with the network. I've never had one. I'm just so surprised that this giant global corporation would not stand up to these bullies. Come on, you're paramount. No. I don't even know what to do with this crap. Oh, hold on.
This is why you don't have an employee and you tell them that they're going to get fired in a couple months and you just keep them on board. I mean, because this guy is pretty much trying to walk out of the building and, throw a Molotov cocktail behind him while he walks out of the building, set up freaking bomb off to take the entire foundation down while he's exiting. And he wants to make sure that he gets a candidate in there that he actually wants to win. Isn't it crazy that they don't want to invite Crockett on? She said herself that she's been on the show before But now that it's election season, oh, no. We don't need Crockett on. We don't need Crockett on. It's fine. No invites. What happened to supporting black women? Where's that support at now?
An incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism.
Seems to me like, once again, the Democrats have proved that they're all talk, because the saying goes, actions speak louder than words. If you invited her on before and you could have aired Tallarico's interview, you could have aired it, could have broadcast it. You just had to extend Crockett an invite as well, and you would have had to broadcast her as well. This was their way of getting Tallarico out, the white man, and not Jasmine Crockett, the black woman. What do you guys think? You think that the Democrats are racist here? You think Colbert is only supporting the whites, or you think that they just want to win and they feel like Jasmine Crockett just can't do it? Or do you believe Colbert and Tallarico's cover story that this was all somehow Trump's fault? Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Big shout out to my members, Cybernoodle, 655, Bella Scott, and Carpentier John. Could not do it without you.
A Democrat candidate who understood the way that the news media works. And he took advantage of all of your sort of prior conceptions to run a hoax, apparently for the purpose of raising money and getting clicks. And the news media played right into it. I think yesterday was a perfect encapsulation of why the American people have more trust in gas station sushi than they do in the national news media. And this was very plainly an effort ginned up to get clicks and to raise money. And you guys ate it up like slop. And when it was pointed out that the facts were completely different than what the fake news media was running with, nobody did like an about face and did a fact correction. They just pivoted and moved away. And again, I think this is why the American people simply don't trust the news media anymore.